Fadden, the tight end, is part of this bunch formation at the bottom of the screen. On 2nd down and 10, they go to Fadden. Makes a man miss. There was a good block. And then he's wrapped up shy of the 35-yard line. Play clock is down under 5. Sanders from the gun. Throws underneath. Pass is complete, but he's shy of the first down by a couple yards.
Get out of his hands.
And here we go on 3rd down. Crosby's pressuring. He's going to go long to the far side, and he overthrows his intended receiver. On 1st down from the 27-yard line. Off the play fake, Sanders dumps it off. He's got Fadden. And Fadden is tight end. Breaks a few tackles, has a first down. That's some heavy running. Off the run by Judkins. Sanders, pressure's coming. Sanders runs away from it. Oh, nearly intercepted. He threw it too hard.
2 guys in the A-gap.
3rd down and 8. Here comes the pressure. Running away from it is Sanders. He's looking long. He's got a man. Caught at the 10-yard line. Bonds. He's down to the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Browns. He beat Darnay Holmes for 53 yards.
Right there, watch the blitz. The blitz gets home, so Shedeur has to buy time. Tyree Wilson comes free, rolls to his right, throwing on the move. That is a dot to his fellow rookie, Isaiah Bond. What a bomb from Shedeur Sanders.
15 games since the Browns. Judkins and Samson both in the game for the Browns. Sanders, it's intercepted at the 44-yard line. Charles Snowden with the pick, and the Raiders will have excellent field position. On 2nd down and 16, pass complete to the outside. It's Tillman.
Patrick Graham told me he hopes it's deja vu all over again. Well, you got to bring these guys.
Max Crosby's at the bottom of your screen. They have help on him. Sanders rolls out, throws on the run. He's just thrown it away. 2 timeouts left for Shedeur Sanders and the Browns. Off the play fake, he'll roll the pocket. He's been rolling it an awful lot today. He'll set up and throw, and he's got a man. It's complete to Judy. Inside Raiders territory, fumbled the ball. It's picked up by the Raiders. Jeremy Chin knocked it away, and Roberts fell on top of it. 1 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. Low snap, he'll step up. Throws underneath to Fadden. And Fadden will be shy of that first down. It's Devin White who made the tackle. They'll go into the first half victory formation as Sanders will just take a knee, and that will be the end of the first half. It would be a Browns franchise record, but it'll be 1st down for the Browns. Shedeur rolling to his left, throws, and it's tipped and incomplete. Particularly on 3rd down. He finds Corley, and Corley is going to be shy of the first down of the 41. So now it's decision time for the Browns. Play clock down to 3, now 2. Backpedaling, rolling, throws it to Fadden, who makes a nice leaping grab. Fadden trying to get to that first down marker, and he does!
Wow.
Across the 25 to the 26, Holmes made the tackle, but that was all the rookie Harold Fadden for 15 yards. Samson comes in motion in the backfield, and flags come in. Shedeur just throws it at the feet of Samson as he goes to the ground.
He hasn't been drifting back. He's been stepping up in the pocket, been getting rid of the ball quicker, done a lot of really positive things. Huge improvement from last Sunday.
And they've also rolled him out a lot today. But yes, it is Dogs, D-A-W-G-S. Sanders backpedaling. That's one of the first times that he backpedaled like that. And that is a dangerous play as Jamal Adams, who missed all of last year.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, came out of retirement, moved to linebacker, and he just rode Samson back and probably a little too excessive. On 3rd and 27, he's looking long, and he overthrows his intended receiver. He's fortunate it wasn't picked off. It was Tillman who he was going for. Now Shedeur Sanders on 1st down from the 33 off the play fake. He'll roll the pocket, the empty pocket, and then he stumbled. His footwork was not great on that pass.
Raiders are not showing pressure.
And they go to Samson out of the backfield. He's got 2 tight ends blocking on the outside. He's got room. He bursts inside Raiders territory. 1 man to beat. He won't be caught. Touchdown, Samson. 66 yards. One rookie to another. It is the first touchdown pass in Shedeur Sanders' career